What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I feel well, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Just grabbing my batteries, replacing them real quick. Well, I'll tell you what. I have had the most, I don't know what to even call it. My memory has Mandela affect itself. Pretty crazy. Hang on. I've got 2 watch chargers, and neither one of them will work if I put them together. But they both work if I don't. I just don't have any good glue. I had some 2-part epoxy, which is what I need, but it's so old, and it doesn't harden. So, it's what it is. Put it on the whenever list with the another million frickin' things. 1 second. So I would have swore, and I mean absolutely 100% would have swore, that I was in the 5th grade when the Challenger incident happened, the Space Shuttle Challenger. And here, I had recalled that memory tons of times. And I didn't realize until the day when I brought it up on Facebook that my memory was completely wrong on that. And it's surprising. If you know my memory, you know that it's really vivid. Really vivid. So it's kind of strange that I would be so far off. I guess I was either in the 7th or 8th grade. And I've been sitting here all day trying to figure out how in the hell my memory was screwed up that bad. I don't know, maybe in the 5th grade if we possibly watched 86 is what they're saying. 1986. And that would it indeed put me in either the 7th or 8th grade. I'm not really positive. But just blows my mind because I'm pretty sure we watched it, whatever class I was in. I'm pretty sure we watched it. I don't know. That's really got me, though. It really, truly has me, because I thought I was in the 5th grade. Thought I recalled them shutting the TV off. I don't know. I don't know. I really do wish I did, though. Out of my life, if there's any period of time that I have a whole lot of memory issues, it's my junior high days. And I honestly couldn't tell you why. I don't know. It's just weird. But that period of time, junior high, I really remember little to nothing. So, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to have a little discussion, and it's once again out of frustration. I think that the most important thing we can do, as far as being voices on a social media platform, is focus on helping people. And it's hard to do that. One thing that's easy to do is just to get caught up in the same old routines. And many people get comfortable with that. And then as long as it seems to do the trick, many people won't reach out and try more. Try harder. Not if their itch is getting scratched. And I feel like that's what's happening in the prepper community. And part of it, they're doing it to themselves because there is a big echo chamber in the prepping community. And they all sit there and stroke each other's hair. I'll be nice. And whisper sweet nothings in each other's ears. And the people are suffering. Because there is so much misinformation. There is so much lacking. And you can't get anyone's attention with it because of this ego. And that's the only thing I can think of it is it's ego. You can't tell any of them anything. The only way you can is if you're already one of them in their little accepted club. And my biggest concern is how quickly we are running out of time. One thing I vowed not to do when I started this channel was make it about me. And largely, I have succeeded in that. It's still not about me. I will advise people to go to the places to get the best information for a given subset of topics. And most of the time, it's not me. When I started, 2016, I guess, I started to play other content from other YouTubers. I wasn't doing it because I didn't have anything to say myself. I wasn't doing it because, I wanted some easy way to put out content. I did it because I was picking some of the best content out there and providing one place where people could go and see it. All these different YouTubers that had great information. And I was kind of trying to culminate it to where people didn't have to go nuts trying to keep up with this channel, that channel, that channel. And the only reason why I quit doing that is because channels were getting increasingly crappy about it. And that's why when I realized that I had the wrong license here at the Watchman News, I corrected it as quickly as I could. Anything that I do, anything I put out, people are welcome to use. I ask them not to use it against me, but I can't stop nobody. That's foolishness to think so. When you got such weak-minded people like Pinball out there that you share a screenshot from one of his shows and he hits you with a copyright strike, that's petty and weak-minded. I don't need others to fight my fights. I'm not going to stand behind YouTube or stand behind a lawyer I'm not going to do any of that. I'm a man. I can stand for myself. People amaze me. We're almost out of time. And I don't know what else to do. I really don't. Because these people out there aren't interested in helping people. They are clearly focused on helping themselves, and that's it. And the part that frustrates me is there will be a day. There will be a day that comes that somebody is saying, man, somebody was talking about some way you could use wood and power a combustion engine, but I never learned how to do it. I never learned anything more on it. It's really sad that all these people that are supposedly so ready for the fight are so weak. They can't even let anybody into a conversation that might disagree with them. How in the hell does iron sharpen iron in an echo chamber? I don't believe it can. And I believe what happens is everybody suffers when you stop allowing iron to truly sharpen iron. There is so much bogus BS, and so many people are being so dishonest about their motives and everything else. Take Bear, for instance. Didn't go to SHOT Show. Makes a big deal. I didn't go to SHOT Show. Why does he say he didn't go to SHOT Show? Oh, it's just a bunch of people, you know. And I get what he's saying. He's 100% correct. But his problem isn't that everybody's there trying to be the biggest badass. His problem is the fact that he's a teeny tiny dude there trying to be the biggest badass. And he don't like that. He's not in control of that. He doesn't control that spear because it's bigger than him. But he won't be honest. Got to get that ego, that pride. I'm not naive. Been around a little bit. I've done this social media thing since literally day one of the internet 30 plus years ago. I don't think I was ever naive on the internet. I could absolutely come here. In fact, I could shut this channel down, open up another channel, and kiss everybody's ass and focus on serving man. And I guarantee you that I could build a fairly good-sized channel. If I betrayed everything that I stand for today, I could build a big channel. That's not my goal. Not even a part of my goal. I don't care if this channel has 2 million people or 2 people. I don't care. Let's not forget, I didn't want to be here in the first place. Still don't. I'm not doing it for me. I serve one master. And that's why I'm here. But I think I know why I was picked. I think I figured that out. And it was because of who I am, of how I am. I'm not going to get distracted by the shiny thing and lose focus on what my mission is. At least I'm going to try not to. I'm not 100% sure that I've been performing my mission correctly, because if I was successful, I wouldn't be having this conversation. But at least I'm trying. And it has nothing to do with me. I don't know how we're going to do it, folks. But we need to get the information out on wood gasification, and believe it or not, pole shift, because there's still a lot of people that don't understand what's going on with that. Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observers, he put out a video. Hang on, let me look here. He had a salty live stream today, though. Let's see. Yes. Lots of stuff recently, by the way, that have been really good stuff. I would say going back, for for sure, I would watch. Here, oh, I should have brought it up. Hang on. Get it in the right window. That window. I would say, certainly, the Earth will turn over. Pole shift, your most asked questions. Certainty of Earth's coming catastrophe. Those are all must-watches. And I'm glad that he's putting out videos like that. That's just a little short. You know, I'm totally against this whole shorts and reels and all of that, because I look at it the same way I looked at Twitter. And I don't want people controlling the depth of my thought. That is a very dangerous thing. Makes people really short-sighted psychologically. But unfortunately, much of the public is accustomed to that at this point. So it's nice to see him putting out short content that gets straight to the point. But this stuff is, I mean, how much more important can you get than that? The only feasible way that any number of people are going to survive, and the truth about a coming event that is truly extinction level, but survivable if you're in the right place and you do the right things. I mean, can't guarantee anything, of course. There's going to be many people that do everything as right as they could do, and they're still going to come to what happens. Is what it is. But if people don't know what's coming, they sure the hell can't prepare for it. This isn't his one video. What was it called? Certainty of Earth's coming catastrophe. There's a lot of people that act like the whole pole shift thing is a maybe. It's not a maybe. I mean, if you could pin it down, you could set your damn watch by it. It's coming. There is nothing that's going to stop it. And I would say that Ben Davison is very likely about as close to being on target concerning a time frame as what anyone could be. It's not something that you can really put your finger on and say it's going to be this year. It's going to be this month. Can't do that. There are so many variables that we don't know. And I think he's done a bang-up job of putting together what he has. And I do throw a lot of trust his way. But do you see the bags under that man's eyes? He works himself silly to understand as much of this stuff as he possibly can. You know, probably out of all YouTubers, every single YouTuber out there that I know of, that I've subscribed to, I probably have the most respect for Ben Davison, Suspicious Observers, because the man's doing it. He's not out there with a bunch of BS he's doing it. And every single day he's at the grind. I have a lot of respect for that. A lot. He's not somebody that did a little bit for a little while and then now is trying to coast. No. If somebody is here on YouTube with true intentions, it's that man. It's not a maybe. And the quicker that we could have people be ready for all the craziness that's going to come before then. See, I don't know if a lot of people put all of this together. And Lord knows I haven't. But there are some pieces I have fit together, and they fit nice and snug. two of those pieces are that, one, pole shift is indeed going to happen. The other is we're going to have 7 years of tribulation before the pole shift. I don't know what part of that people don't get. And you know what would be nice? While we were going through some kind of really crazy man-made nonsense, which we're about to enter, be nice to be able to produce enough food so people didn't starve. But we got to have two things for that to happen. For one, we need to be able to operate at least machinery that was made 100 years ago, namely tractors, grain trucks, stuff like that. Tiny bit important. That alone would save so many lives. I don't understand. For a group of individuals that claim to be trying to help people prepare for the alpacalypse, what am I missing? Because they have no recovery plan. No recovery plan. It's like they got how to start out your survival, and then that's just it. It's over. Nothing more. Other than, oh, you need to have livestock, and you need to have chickens, and you need to... Yeah, okay. All that livestock, those chickens, all that, they're going to eat. Just like people. So you have to be able to plant, harvest, and process enough food for the animals and the people. And without the combustion engine, you're not going to do it. I mean, yeah, sure, you could make up some kind of makeshift steam tractor. I don't see why not. But why? Why try to read the manual on how to fly the plane while you're on the way down? Why not learn how to fly the plane before it goes down? I mean, that's just logic. We don't have a lot of time. Ben, I really do believe, is accurate on his late 2030s, sometime in the 2040s projection. I think he's probably, if he's wrong on the long end of it, and it'd be sooner. If he's wrong, it'd be sooner. I'm not saying he's wrong, though. So you go back 7 years from that, and tribulation, I can imagine, is going to really suck. I don't think we're in it yet. I don't think we're even close to it yet. I mean, some people in some places on the planet, I'm sure it surely feels that way. But the tribulation I speak of will be experienced globally at the same time, all of us. We haven't hit that yet. And I believe that a large part of that suffering is going to be disease and starvation. And we can do things to mitigate that. If we stop with the focus inward and start asking ourselves, what can we do for humanity? Well, educate yourself so that you can educate humanity. Hey, we have to understand that the way that humans work You're not going to have the attention of a lot of people right now because it's just the way we are. So many people will wait until 2 minutes past too late before they act. That's just, I think, a nature of being human. And I think most of us suffer from that, at least in one area or another of our lives. It's not something I think really much of any of us are immune from. But I try to learn from that. I try to learn from my mistakes. And preparedness is one of those learning from my mistakes kind of things. We can put ourselves in a position to help people provide themselves with clean water, with ways for them to use more sanitary waste methods, I'll say, so that they don't wind up getting sick that way. You can absolutely, if you know the information, if you know how to do it, you can absolutely help other people build wood gasifiers to help them get their tractors going and all. But all of that takes work now. Reading the Plains Manual, so that when we see the plane going down, we understand how to operate it. Instead of millions of people being cast to their deaths because nobody or very few people wanted to stand up and take the responsibility of truly helping people. That's sad. But what's more sad is the fact that there's those of us, because I'm not the only one, there are those of us out there that want to do this, that want to help people. But we're all little voices. And you can't seem to get the attention of any of the big voices, because if you're not in their good old boy club, well, then you're nothing. Go look on my community page at how Pinball treats people that have small channels. Most all of his comments are somehow in regards to the size of his channel versus mine. Not one time has he ever addressed the actual things that I was talking about. Not one time, because he can't. It is what it is. He's a empty suit. His job is, or was, finding people to do jobs. The same damn thing he spent his life doing. Finding somebody that can do this or that for him. And it's obvious. I don't understand this whole new society where we lie to each other to make each other happy. I refuse to do that. I refuse to do that. Who was I saw a video talking about today, talking about how friends don't call each other out anymore. I can't remember who that was. I watched a video from someone today, and they were talking about how friends don't call. Oh, it was Ben. I think it was Ben Davidson on his live stream. And he's absolutely correct. Everybody just says whatever to make the other person happy. Iron cannot sharpen iron in an echo chamber. It doesn't work like that. I purposely will put myself in conversations where there's going to be a pushback. Why? Because I'm not done learning. I want to learn. I can't learn if I don't challenge myself. And that absolutely includes challenging others. I want to grow. I've learned the things that I know up to this point because I want to grow. I don't want to be a stale human being. Never doing anything new, never learning anything. That to me That would literally be a nightmare for me. In fact, that's my biggest concern about things going to hell, is because it's going to have a hell of an impact on me psychologically, because I no longer have that capability to learn. I've spent 30 plus years now. Anytime I ever wanted to know something, just a matter of using the right search terms, knowing the right questions to ask, and it's right in front of my face. That's going to be a hard thing, because I'll admit wholeheartedly that I am addicted to knowledge. That's going to be probably my hardest hang-up. But see, I can say that. I can come here and I can say that and tell that. Why? Because I'm secure with who I am. I can sit there and tell you that my favorite color is Aurora Pink. I can sit there and tell you that my favorite song of all time is Puff the Magic Dragon. Why would I be afraid to say, and there's a lot of guys that wouldn't admit stuff like that. Why? You know, if somebody makes fun of you because you like a bright color, or because you like an old pleasant folk song. Not really that pleasant, really, I guess, but that shows something wrong with them, not you. And it doesn't matter who or if anybody sees that or understands that, because there will be a day when you face the Father who does know. As long as you do right, He'll have your back. That's where I stand. And I'm not saying I do everything right. Oh my goodness, I could screw up a wet dream. But I'm trying. I'm actually trying. I'm not just trying to make it look good. In fact, that's why it looks so messy. People that actually try, it's going to look pretty messy. Gonna look pretty messy. It's like you watch and I never was into this kind of stuff. Even though I love to work on cars, I don't enjoy watching other people work on cars. To me, that's stupid. That's me. I've got a different mindset. But it's like you watch a guy install a camshaft on a TV show on an engine, and everything's all nice and clean, and everything goes nice and smooth. And then you go out to your old, jalopy and try changing the camshaft out of that thing, and you got this problem, that problem, and anything else comes up, right? Bolts breaking off and everything else. It sure in the hell didn't go like it did on TV. Because life's not like TV. Most of the time, that engine that guy worked on was literally just a part. So they knew that there wasn't any seized bolts. They knew there wasn't going to be this little shortcoming happen, They knew that. Just like scripting shows. I'm not a fan of that either. That's why we don't do anything even remotely scripted here. Now, to me, if you just can't speak openly and honestly, I question the message. I do. If somebody's got to write everything down and structure everything to present it, I'm probably going to question it. Because people that know the information don't need to write it down. Except Blue, I guess. Yeah, I'm finishing up coffee. I got backup tea here, though, because I actually started coffee early. I'm worn out. I am worn out. Now, anyway, I started coffee a little early tonight because I didn't want it keeping me up. But at this point, it's cold and acky, so. Anyway, let's do a little bit of news and get the heck out of here. Let me see the number one up there. Wait a minute, that might be an opinion piece. Come on, load up. No? Not, I mean, it is, but at the same time, it's not the news. News is opinion, so. Well, if I can pull my head out of my butt, I'll know what I need to do. I am just seriously, I'm wore out in about every way. Except spiritually. I don't get wore out that way. I don't think the young ladies from the Latter-day Saints are going to be back, though. And if they contact us again, I'm going to be straight up with them. Look, here's the deal. I actually enjoy the conversations. But the idea that they're going to convert me, I don't think so. Not even close. Because I know how many lies I have to tell myself to be able to support their belief. And I ain't doing it. And I know how they changed and they lied because they were weak and didn't stand for what they believe. In fact, a large part of that is why they don't want to be called Mormons anymore. I absolutely invite talking about the Father. Absolutely. But I'm going to pledge my belief to the Father, not some man-made dogma. It is what it is. I absolutely believe that, and I get his name wrong every single time. I'm going to see if I can get it right. Is it Robert Smith? Might be Robert Smith. I might have actually gotten it right that time. Anyway, their prophet, I should say their first prophet, I've got a real big issue accepting that, they have the prophets from there on out. Is it Robert Smith? Let me look it up, because I get it wrong all the time. And every time I think I got it right, I'm like, not so much. Was it? I know I got it. I must have it wrong. Nope. Joseph Smith. See, I got it wrong. Joseph Smith. I absolutely believe that. Wholeheartedly. Because I read about what he says happened. And I can guarantee you it happens that way. I can guarantee you. But this whole thing of they picked the prophet from there on out from their belief, no. No. Not even close. And it's one of those things to where even if you read in the Bible, it would tell you to avoid those that will tell you that, that their way is the only way. Because you were told what the only way was. And you don't need a church to have a personal relationship with the Father or His Son. No. And in fact, He doesn't want that. He wants you, not your church. He wants you. And to say that I pledge my allegiance to a religion is slapping Him directly in the face and ignoring His commands. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'll fellowship with them any day of the week. I really enjoy talking to them. They are very highly educated. Let's see. Hey, Darlene. Yep, we're still kicking. Whatever that means these days. No, we're still here. I've kicked and I've screamed with the Father, but who am I kidding? I mean, he's gonna win. He knows he's gonna win. But it doesn't mean I won't kick and scream, because you don't see footprints. You see the marks where he dragged me kicking and screaming. But it's all good, because he made me, and he needs somebody like me to be able to help stand strong, stand firm behind the Word. Not a lot of people that do that today. A lot of people tell you one thing and do another. That's not godly. But yeah, we're still here. Yeah, fast and easy, exactly. And it's a place to, it's a place to gather in worship. It's a place to fellowship. There's nothing wrong with the idea of a church at all. But for any one of them to say, and almost all of them say this, that this is the only way. If you don't follow our specific flavor, then you're not going to make it to heaven. And almost every single church that I know of says that. And I got to put this asterisk there. Christianity itself says, if you don't believe this, and this, then you're condemned to hell. And all I'm going to say is that, and that isn't wholly accurate. So that's why I can't even take the Christian vow. There's a little thing called the Great Deception that happened back during the Council of Nicaea. And it's not a discussion that many people want to have. Yeah, it was a long 2023. Every year since 2019, 2020 has really kind of drug on, but 2023 was grueling. I'm not looking forward to 2024, to be honest. Well, yeah, and you bring up the other aspect of it too, fast and easy. I remember going and it was I always comment because I can tell. It's right there. Not Jehovah's Witnesses. Dang it. I swear you can look in their eyes and you can see it. You don't even but they always wear dresses. The letter P comes to my mind. Not Protestant, though. I can't remember the belief, the religion now. Anyway. I at one time stayed with a girl that was in that church, that type of church. And I remember going to church with her. And one of the things that I'm not real hip on is the whole tongues thing. That's kind of one of the things that they're really into. But we sat down and the church service started. And I kid you not, the preacher was advertising for the different Pentecostals. Thank you, Little Lone Pepper. Thank you. The preacher was advertising for one of the guys had a not a landscaping business, but did excavating business, And he advertised for that guy, and he advertised for other, and it's just like, it was insane. The level of advertisement that was going on. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Whatever happened to that little moment in time where Yeshua was chasing people out of the temple and chasing them with whips, and whatever happened to that? And I don't think that, in all honesty, a lot of, and I'll say religious organizations, really understand that. He doesn't want his name associated with anything, or, anything at all to do with money. Anything. Not even a little bit. And it just blows my mind that gets missed. And that's an important thing. I mean, come on. It made him lose his cool enough to start chasing people with whips and turning over tables. That's a pretty significant moment in the Bible. And if I ran a church organization, money would never even be brought up. I mean, why? Because he made it very clear in the Bible about that. Yeah, merchandising the Spirit. And it's in any way that you include it. Even, believe it or not, even in asking for tithes. This whole, you get people going on and on and on about the 10% of tithing. That's time, not money. That's time. 10% of your time to go help your other brothers and sisters out. That's tithing. Not 10% of your pay. I mean, that's nuts. The idea is if we gave 10% of our time to help one another, that no one of us would be needing. No one of us would be lacking. In fact, we would all have abundance if we put 10% towards helping one another. It had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with offerings to the... And in fact, that in itself was an offering to the Father. The fact that you were helping your fellow brothers and sisters was the offering to the Father. But so much of that gets mixed up whenever you start talking about greed. I don't know, it's crazy. Oh, I did have that up. I was gonna say, I thought I forgot to put up the screen. I am not even wholly with it tonight. I'm still, my head's in a spin about, this is really tripping me out about, for so many years, thinking I was in the 5th grade and remembering that moment so vividly in my head, just to find out that, wait a minute, how much of that is even the way it happened? And for me, my memory's not, I normally have an extremely vivid, spot-on memory, and for it to be that far off, it really throws me for a loop. But not the dog. She'll just lay over there sleeping and snoring. I'm gonna get huffed now. Anyway, mayor calls on men to impregnate their wives. I thought it was, I was reading the article and I had to shake my head, because you sure in hell wouldn't want to do this in the United States today. Let me see. It's hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. No, it's the first sentence here. Men should sneak up on their wives and impregnate them this very evening. I thought, oh yeah, don't be saying that over here. You start a whole nother Me Too thing. It'll be insane. Let's see. I got a lot of questions involving that whole situation with Texas. Especially when Biden came out and said that he can stop, that he can stop the immigration problem as long as they agree to his budget or whatever. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, back when I owned a Webster's dictionary, they called that exploitation. I don't own one today, so maybe I'm not quite accurate on that anymore, since they want to change the definitions of everything. Do I think it's going to change? No, I don't think it's going to change anything. I think at most what it'll do is it'll change where and how they bring the immigrants in. I don't think it's going to stem the flow of immigrants, though. And I think the biggest reason, and this is just where I'm seeing it at this point, I think the biggest reason why they are doing it, because I think they have known for quite some time we were going to be headed into a large military conflict. And I think a lot of those people that are crossing the border are going to be drafted real quick. And that's just my thoughts. That's just my opinion on it. I don't know how accurate it is. Because at the same time, I don't necessarily believe that these nations are really against each other. I think many of them are actually working together. I think there has been a lot of nation building going on, and I think nations have been wheeled and dealed. I think we're about to see a whole bunch more of it. Anyway, per the article, they say here the fact in Nevenominsk, which has a population of some 117,000, only around 700 children are born yearly, is unsatisfactory, Mikhail Minenkov declared in a video on his Telegram channel on Wednesday. There are various reasons for people refraining from having kids, including the belief that they haven't earned enough money or the desire to live for oneself, the mayor wrote. Nah, that's not it. The same thing is happening in Russia that is happening in the United States and Great Britain and almost every single nation on this planet. The children, the amount of pregnancies and all of that are down because men aren't stupid. And I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it, but I am thankful that these young men are starting to see what's going on. Because as I put it because I posted about it this morning on Facebook, that actual article I posted, and how did I word it here? What man in their right mind would take the financial and emotional risk? All it takes is a separation, and it's a living death sentence for a man, and that's not limited to the U.S. That's the truth. And if there's anything that's keeping the amount of the birth rate down, I guarantee you it's the uncertainty of what could happen in the future. So until that is fixed, I think there's going to continue to be less and less people having children. Because the entire American dream from top to bottom is gone. And it's unsettling, to say the least. But I think that's the biggest reason why, is because people don't want to put them in themselves in that position. I have no doubt that voting is a part of it. As far as bringing in the migrants, no doubt about that at all. But I think there's even more sinister thoughts than that. Not just for them, for us too. I mean, they know what's going to happen if they just start filling this nation up with a bunch of people that had never been told that, hey, look, these are Americans. You might want to respect their way of doing things. They know the friction that's being caused in this country as a result of what they're doing. And I think it's absolutely all with intent. Yeah. I mean, and that's scary too, Darlene, about the military with all the different people that can get into there now. It's horrifying. Well, I mean, it is really, in my opinion, hard to take a sober look at what is going on around the entire edge of our nation and see anything other than the fact that we are being brought down from within, and it is absolutely with intent. It's not by an accident. It's not happenstance. This is a direct destruction of our nation, and I think it goes even much further beyond our nation. I think it even covers humanity as a whole. I don't care about sports. I've been getting notifications all day about sports. And I don't even know what the hell's going on. I don't even know who's playing what. I'm not a sports person. Oh. Hang on. Gotta let somebody in the door of the group real quick, I think, unless it's another false alarm. One day, maybe Facebook will start giving me notifications right. Yeah, don't even see it there. Hang on. Nope, I guess they were automatically approved. Yeah. And when I do get a notification, when they're automatically approved, who and why? Hang on. I'm pretty sure I accepted that person. Hang on, let me make sure. I thought I personally allowed that young lady in. I'll have to deal with that later. It could have been a family matter thing, I don't know, but yeah, I'm not too hip on people declining other people joining that group. That's not the intent of letting other people make that decision. Anyway. Wasn't I doing a news show? I think I was doing a news show. So anyway, if you live in Russia, you're supposed to sneak up on your wife and impregnate them this evening. If you live in the United States, I don't recommend doing that. Freight via Suez Canal down 45%, says the UN. We, I think, are going to be... I mean, we've been experiencing inflation, but I think what we're going to be hit with is going to be... Well, I think right here... sending shockwaves through global supply chains. I don't think that we've started seeing it yet. I think we will very, very soon. I don't think quite yet. But there again, I'm not out shopping, so I could be wrong. This happened, U.S. troops killed in Jordan drone attack. Let's see. Oh, you have a good one, Darlene. Have a good night. Let's see. 3 U.S. Army soldiers have been killed and many others wounded by an overnight drone attack in Jordan. President Joe Biden has announced the strike on a Sorry about that. Man, that came out of nowhere. The strike on a U.S. Army outpost represents a significant escalation of simmering tensions in the Middle East. A press release issued by U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, on Sunday listed the number of American personnel injured in the attack at 25. Last night, 3 U.S. service members were killed and many wounded during an unmanned aerial drone attack on our forces stationed in northeast Jordan near the Syrian border, Biden said in a statement issued by the White House on Sunday. While we are still gathering the facts of this attack, we know it was carried out by radical Iran-backed militant groups operating in Syria and Iraq. And of course, you've got the war hawks in the government that's telling them, go bomb Iran now, go bomb Iran now. These got to be some very evil people. Because while I can understand the emotion behind that thought, I also know the reality of that. I also know the reality of Iran having nuclear weapons for quite some time, just like North Korea did before we found out about it. Now, Iran and North Korea both have hypersonic weapons and we don't. So just running willy-nilly and bombing Iran's probably not a wise idea. Because one thing I can guarantee you they can do is sink every ship we've got within their reach. I can guarantee you Iran can do that. Nobody on this planet has the effectiveness of weaponry when it comes to short-range and medium-range missiles as Iran. Because that's where they focused all of their attention, was short and medium range missiles. Why? Because they were trying to follow this stupid rule and that stupid rule about how they couldn't have ballistic missiles, and I don't know. I don't understand a lot of the whole Iran thing because I've seen a lot of compliance by Iran and them get nothing that was promised. I think I would be a little bit bitter too. But, I mean, that's trying to understand the situation. So I don't know. This could wind up turning into something bigger and uglier than it already is. And then we've got this, and all of this stuff. It's games being played back and forth, and I don't know how much of it's games between the nations or how much of it's games just with us. The article says U.S. discussing delaying arms deliveries to Israel. It says White House is discussing withholding or delaying the shipments of offensive weapons to Israel in order to compel the Jewish state to scale back the ongoing military operation in the Gaza Strip, NBC News reported on Sunday. First of all, I don't believe it for a second. They're not going to miss a shipment. Not to Israel. The pushback that you see happening is just trying to appease voters. So his, and I mean Biden when I say his pushback on Israel is nothing but for aesthetic value. because he will continue to send them anything and everything that they want. That, to me, is very telling, that no matter which person on which side of the aisle will always feed in them. And that's not where we need to be. It's really not. Anyway, I don't know how much of this I really believe. I don't think that they'll hold back a single thing. I think it's him trying to save a little bit of face. But it's not going to help him. I mean, there ain't no way in hell Biden's going to win another election. I mean, I can't say he's won. So, there's that. I don't believe it. And I know YouTube gets all pissy about it, but I'm sorry. There is no way that more people turned up to vote for Biden than the people that turned up to vote for Obama. No way. No way. Even I voted for Obama his first term. Even I went out and registered to vote. The guy that promised himself he would never get involved in that nonsense registered to vote and voted for Obama. And that happened with a lot of people that voted for Obama. Now, the difference was, within a month after the guy was inaugurated, I was calling him out because I sat there and watched him turn around 180 degrees on every single campaign promise he made. And even the one that he kept, Obamacare, wasn't Obamacare. It was Romneycare. Obamacare would have actually helped people. Obamacare just helped the insurance companies. I mean Romneycare. So we got a bait and switch with that. And I don't think it was by chance. I think that was the plan. I wised up a lot after Obama got elected. When it came to politics, I wised up a lot. But I was looking to learn. I wasn't looking to feel warm and fuzzy. I was looking to know the truth. Okay, let's run through some headlines and run out of here. I'm ready for bed. NATO won't defend the U.S., says Trump. Pretty much most of NATO is the U.S., so. Big brands poke fun at EU countries' corrupt scandal. Yeah, they were posting all kinds of ads. It's humorous. EU state steps closer to banning Russians from buying property. Covered that. Foreign tourism in Russia projected to soar. Debt could destroy U.S. economy, says J.P. Morgan boss. I mean, do you even have to give that? I mean, are you telling us anything there? I mean, dory. Let's see. Negotiations close to Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal, says New York Times. Close, by the way, not close. Emphasis, Mike, emphasis. Emphases. Oh. Trump rival targeted in swatting incident, says Reuters. That would be Nikki Haley. And that's all a bunch of crap, too. Wouldn't you think that people would put two and two together? Okay, so if somebody benefits from doing something wrong, at some point, don't you look at what's going on and then change up something else so that they don't benefit from that anymore? So, for whatever reason, if there are individuals benefiting on this idea of swatting, wouldn't the best way to deal with that is stop allowing it to happen? Okay, so You don't take a phone call about Nikki Haley and believe that whatever craziness happened. Now, I'm not saying don't check up on it. What I am saying is you don't have to run the protocol. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to let the standard operating procedure run its course. The first moment you realize that it's bullshit, it needs to stop right there. If you stop showing the people that are doing the swatting that it's succeeding, they'll stop doing it. But that's not what's happening. Not whatsoever. They're making sure that people know about it. Your swatting is coming from your government. For the most part. I'm not saying there's nobody out there calling on other people. I absolutely do think there's dipshit kids out there that pull that kind of nonsense. But for the most part, no. And when it's somebody that's politically involved, you know, the whole swatting thing, when it's kids doing it to other kids, 99% of the time it's kids that are gaming with one another. It's a gaming thing. When it comes to the political personalities, if you will, it's not the same thing. Tim Pool has had an entire mindset shift. And I call it that because it's the nicest words I can put to him selling out. But it's plain as day. You can watch where his mind shift was. Right now he's nothing but all behind Trump and all. I mean, it's to a stupid level. That didn't start until at the same time the swatting stopped. And to think that the two aren't correlated? Come on now. He agreed to be controlled opposition to put a stop to it. And it is what it is. I mean, that's each individual's personal call to make. I'm not going to judge him on that. I wouldn't do it. I'll be damned if I do it. Shoot me in the head before I do something like that. Ain't no way. I'm convinced why the Father has me here doing this. Anyway, iPhone sales drop in China. Trump planning massive tax on Chinese imports, says media. Ukraine would be happy to get UK's retired ships, says Navy chief. I think I'd take them for scrap value. I mean, why not? I got a little bit of iron for you. Bring a trailer. Freight via Suez. Oh, I covered that. Russia's planned gas pipeline to China hit by delay, says Mongolian PM. Ukraine uncovers major fraud in ammo procurement. You think? Protesters throw soup at Mona Lisa. And now I can't understand this even on the surface. But when you read the article, you learn about how the Mona Lisa is like literally behind bulletproof glass. So what's the point of throwing soup on it if all I got to do is get a squeegee? I mean, what are you really doing? I'm against this whole nonsense to begin with. That you don't vandalize things like that because you can't get your way. That's going too far. That's vandalism. It goes far beyond quote-unquote civil disobedience. Now, civil disobedience, I'll agree, the whole point of it is to be a thorn in people's side. But it's not to cause permanent damage. It's not, and if you do cause permanent damage, you do so to the ones that have you suppressed, namely the government. I don't know who painted the Mona Lisa, but it wasn't his fault. And it's not the museum's fault. So why are you attacking the artist and the museum? It's displaced anger to me. It's like burning down Little Caesars or the 7-Eleven because somebody gets shot in an unjustified killing. Why aren't you burning down the police department or the courthouse? I'm not advising anybody to do that, but I'm saying that burning down your Little Caesars or your local 7-Eleven is displaced anger, and all you're doing is depriving yourself. And others, obviously, but let's see. Don't penalize humanitarian workers, says UN Secretary General to the West. Covered that. Trump wanted RFK Jr. as running mate, says New York Post. I thought about that for a little bit earlier when I read that headline. I don't know. I don't know if I could get behind that or not. I don't trust Trump. That's a given. I'm not wholly sure that I trust RFK Jr. You want to see me look into registering to vote? Then you put Tucker. You put Tucker with Trump. And I'll register and I'll vote. Because I do not think that man would back down to Trump. Are you meaning like real recently, Kevin? As in like today or something? I know recently they launched another one. But that's been like a week or something ago. Oh. Okay. Dude, I did not have this in my news. Let me fix that and we'll go from there. Okay, it shared it in. Yeah, I was unaware of this. Thank you. Iran launches 3 satellites into space that are part of a Western criticized program as tensions rise. Iran said Sunday it successfully launched 3 satellites into space with a rocket that had multiple failures in the past, the latest for a program that the West says improves Tehran's ballistic missiles. The launch comes as heightened tensions grip the wider Middle East over Israel's continued war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip, sparking fears of regional conflict. While Iran has not intervened militarily in the conflict, it has faced increased pressure within its theocracy for action after a deadly Islamic State suicide bombing earlier this month, and as proxy groups like Yemen's Houthi rebels conduct attacks linked to the war. A drone attack Sunday, claimed by Iranian-backed Iraqi militias, killed 3 U.S. troops and wounded at least 25 others in Jordan. Footage released by Iranian state television showed a nighttime launch for the Simorgh rocket. An Associated Press analysis of the footage showed that it took place at Imam Khomeini spaceport in Iran's rural Simnan province. So the rest goes into it. I don't get it. And the reason why I don't get it is because we already know they have successfully fired hypersonic weapons, they've already got the missile technology. I mean, I'm not saying that these satellites are on the up and up. In fact, I think quite the opposite. I'm sure they are somehow military related. No doubt in my mind of that. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Izzy, I'm asking about, Kevin, your comment about RFK Jr. being a flip-flopper on the Second Amendment. Yeah, see, I don't know enough about him. I don't feel comfortable at all putting support behind somebody that and see, that would make sense to me, because Trump isn't a fan of the Second Amendment either. So stuff like that scares me, because nobody would, none of the Republicans would call him out when he did what he did before. I don't think that they'll call him out if he did it again. Let's see. Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah, he is good with the vaccine stuff, but I'm not so worried about that right now. I mean, not to say that it's not going to happen again, but at least for that particular ship, it's pretty much sailed. Erdogan's party launched in Germany, says Bild. Republican leader accuses Biden of lying. Yeah, it's just another Sunday. Catholic Church attacked in Istanbul. EU state would be right to seize. EU state would be right to seize Ukrainian region, an MP says. A man opened an emergency exit and walked on a plane's wing. Passengers are supporting his action. So apparently, the aircraft was parked for a very long time, and longer, I think, than what they're supposed to be. But so more or less out of protest, the guy opened up one of the doors and walked out on the wing to get some fresh air. And the airline did turn him into the authorities, although it's not clear whether or not the authorities are going to charge the guy or anything else. Literally, a ton of passengers on the plane signed a written statement supporting the man for doing what he did. So I'm not 100% sure the guy is going to get charged with anything. I hope not. I mean, clearly, if you have that many people backing you, then that says a lot. Especially these days on an airplane. Soros backs Democratic push in U.S. border state, says media. U.S. discussing delaying arms I covered that. Russophobia in the West will eventually decline, says the Kremlin. Iran denies it was behind deaths of U.S. servicemen in Jordan. And in the article I just shared out, so fun. Okay. More huffing going on. Anyway, I'm getting out of here. I got a pillow to go talk to. And God willing, we'll be back tomorrow and do it again. So I appreciate everybody coming. Hope to see you tomorrow. And as always, God bless you. We love you. And be one with your spirit. Shalom. Have a good night, folks.